Don't blink, don't blink, it's your buying. Welcome to Terry Show. Doing guys, doing wow. I'm exhausted, but hey, gotta work. Hope you're doing well. Because I'm having a wonderful day on this 3rd September, 2025. Yes, you heard me correctly. I took a bathroom because we're eating coffee candy, and coffee is a laxative. You heard me correctly. 3rd September, 2025. Now, this means a lot of things for a lot of people, but for myself included, this means the home stretch of Prison Break. It is 5:19 p.m. I have until midnight tonight. We are at season 4, episode 10, and we are at season 4, episode 16, so we fell asleep, which is great because I needed to sleep anyway. So, les spéciaux. Oh, my father. My father. Give me a sec. No, this is not important. This is important. This is rushed. I'm gonna see my father anyway tomorrow, so I think he can wait. You think he can wait? You think my father can wait? I think he can wait. So without further ado, let's go. I got about 2 hours left of the show. In about, I want to say, 3 hours of watching. So very doable. Very, very doable, but let's not get cocky here. So we have in land, mind, and mind. I don't know what you call it. Land, my feel. So again, we remember that a certain officer Brad Bellick passed away in the sense of combat, and this is kind of important because although I didn't like what they did with the Brad Bellick, it is the first death of the crew, which is technically not true. The first death of the crew is the IT guys, but most people don't like him. For me, the guy is interesting because I understand his motivation. He had a good motivation to betray the group. Was it handled correctly? I think it was handled correctly. I think it was handled greatly. Very short betrayal, and there you go. And besides, why not put somebody? If you're gonna play the plots of having somebody betray the group, might as well put a incognito, right? Okay, so next on the list we have people talking to Safe and saying, "Hey, we want Brad to be correctly put in the funeral." It's like, yeah, we can't do it. We can't do that right now. And the guys are like, "No, if you're not doing this, we're not gonna be working for you anymore." So this is actually kind of cool. And I know that the guy who's the most mad is Sucre because him and Sucre are closest. Him and Bellic were the closest. We finally know what happened. So Teabag, to escape what he did, he went crazy. He burned the prison down. So he burned the prison down and then told everybody to run. Right? It's insane. Told everybody to run. So the soldier were shooting at the prisoner, and the one that okay. I'm sorry. This was yesterday. Teabag said you can't shoot them all, and Sucre was gonna die, but Brad took him and dragged him, so he saved him. So this is why they're so close, right? And this is actually pretty freaking cool. This is insane. Got Gretchen, and Gretchen, it's not because she's working with the boys. Oh my god, the boys in Lori Grant's. Sorry, Sarah Tancredi. Wait, it's the same person. Just a zombie apocalypse away. So Gretchen, we just saw last episode that she was working with the general. So now she's kind of like a betrayal, and it's actually really cool because you put somebody. You see, if you see the logic, okay? Kopi Cool candy, they're delightful, delicious. You see the logic, right? A member that was not part of the original crew, a member that was part of the team but not part of the inner circle, as my friend Kyle will say. Kyle. Whenever I talk about Kyle, I talk about Kent Cartman. If you were to do a second betrayal, you would put somebody out. See my betrayal. Didn't matter because Max was a villain, right? But here, I think there's no villain. There's Sarah, Michael, Sucre, Mahone, Sarah. Uh, I'm not screaming. So now we have. This is really cool. We have Lisa in general talking about how she trust doesn't trust Gretchen. Now, this scene is another one of those moments where watching a lot of Prison Break is actually pretty good. The reason why watching Prison Break is really good is because we know that Lisa, which is again this girl, is a real daughter of the general. So this is insane, and that's why she's so close to the general. So I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be completely honest, right? General kissing Gretchen seemed a little bit creepy, and then you had the general kissing Lisa, a little bit creepy. But if it's her dad, I mean, it's fine. It's a really sweet moment. They're talking about Brad, and Brad had you guys remember in season 4, episode 3, they disguised himself as police officer. Brad kept the insignia because he wanted to be a police cop, but he didn't make the exam. So Sucre's like, I'd have to call his mom. Now, they do find that there's a secret code, and this is really cool because Mahone and Michaels are kind of smart, both of them, really smart. So they figure out that there's another word, hidden in there, and the other word is David Baker. David Baker might be the guy who designed Scylla. So because he might be the guy who designed Scylla, it's kind of important because he hid his name in there. And Sucre is like, why would he put something in there? Only the two of you would think about something like that, putting your name in there. And then Michael and Mahone's like, yeah, but if it was us, we put a failsafe if something happened. This character, I gotta say, this character, I'm telling you, this show is amazing. The secretary, biggest plot twist in season 4. I'm not gonna tell you, but it's biggest plot twist, and it's amazing. So again, we got the file for Gretchen because we got their fingerprints, but there's nothing. There's nothing. We know her real name. The only information that has value in the file is the fact that Gretchen has a sister, and her sister is living somewhere. Why is that important? Well, because Gretchen might be untouchable. You can torture Gretchen, but she does care about someone, and that someone is the sister. Michael is in a bad spot. He faints. He faints because, listen, he has a sickness and it's getting to him. So they go to the hospital. It's like, yo, use a fake identity, blah, 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 blah. So that's kind of important, right? There's another cool thing. The show is so good. You know what's insane also? We're watching season 4, episode 10. I stopped watching it today at season 10, episode 10. So all of this is I watched today. The boss of T-Pain, T-Bag, comes in and is like, yo, I really believe in you. We got a bunch of new people, a new branch. I want you to motivate them. So, so it's insane because this is another way, although much more positive, to say that the T-Bag has more pressure to pretend like he's Cole Pfeiffer. T-Bag in this one is amazing. So Gretchen comes in here, right? And she tells him a story that she want to work. So Gretchen here is amazing because she's working for the company. She wants to help Michael, but she also wants to help T-Bag. Now, why would she help T-Bag? Because in this case, T-Bag is one person. If there's money involved, she has to separate with the boys. If there's money involved, she has to separate with T-Bag. For safety involved, she has to protect herself. Now, there's another very, very, very important case. If T-Bag is able to get the identity of Gretchen, then the company, is safe to say, would also be able to get the identity, wouldn't they? We got a cool case of, okay, I want to protect my daughter, I want to protect my sister, and they're both vulnerable with side company. So she has to work the 3 case. Brad and Sucre comes in to see this, and because Brad is dead. Now, the reason they're pissed off is because Brad is deaf. Is like, okay, well, this is a real thing. We lost one of ours, right? So I think they're mad because it could have been T-Bag and it wasn't, right? They go to the hospital and talk about the what is actually going on. And that's actually going super well. Like, there's a lot of chance that they can help him. However, Michael is being searched upon. So this is really cool because Michael being a wanted guy, there's still this risk, right? Going to the hospital would have been nothing, but the fact that he's wanted, that's a lot of pressure to the team, which made the scene more interesting. We got this scene, which is also super cool, in the B, my favorite bug. The card holder are asking the general, why are we moving the cards? And this is super cool because we watch people that we knew before. Those people we know who they are. So technically speaking, the boys have 5 of the 6 cards. The only card that's missing is the general card. So this is also kind of cool. Mahone goes to see David Baker, right? And his wife is there, and she said, "What you want?" He said, "Oh, I'm here for Scylla." So the David Baker's like, "Yeah, it's been a while. I'm not sure if I can remember anything." Which is kind of important. We got Sucre telling the story of how Bellic saved him. So he feels bad about it. He does feel bad. Now, this is insane because we are on the other side of the wall. So the biggest obstacle is done. The wall is there. Now, here's a good thing, but here's a bad thing. The good thing is, it's brilliant. The bad thing is, it's the same plot as going to the safe from the back door. So this is the safe. Okay. This is the safe. This is the boys, right? The safe at the front door. The boys are going to the back door, which is good, but the same plot as a couple episodes ago, right? And it does feel a little bit lazy, but hey, I don't write show, I write tragedy. Well, imagine as I say, what a beautiful wedding. What a beautiful, 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 beautiful wedding. From paint to paint, oh, what a shame. What a shame the poor groom bride is a whore. I signed in with the haven't people ever heard of. Closing the goddamn door, no. Much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of hope. It's a rationality, yeah. Oh, a little bit of a pack of this quick, if you don't mind. Michael is calling, and he's still in charge of it. And it's kind of nuts because Sarah's thinking about Brad. This is homage to Brad in itself. Michael goes to a CAT scan, which will be able to analyze everything. David Baker's like, yo, I can't stop Scylla. And Mahone's like, you know what? I don't believe you. You put your name there so we could stop you. You put your name there so you were gonna be held responsible. You felt guilty. I'm here to help you, right? And you know what's insane? You know what's insane? David Baker doesn't help them, but his wife helped them. That I really enjoyed. Because it's really nice. Because the wife doesn't do it as, hey, fuck my husband, let's do it. The wife does it as a case of, I know what's better for my husband. I think that he feels guilty about this. I feel like you are legit. You see, this is the same thing as the, this, technically speaking, is the same thing as a barman who didn't help Wyatt find Sarah, but helped Mahone find Sarah. And again, who's going to see David Baker? Mahone. So, in the show, Mahone is seen to be this very genuine person, which is kind of good. Mahone also have this very good, whatchamacallit? See, there it is, right? So Michael has a lot of smarts, Okay, so let's put it like that, right? The two main characters in the show are Michael and Lincoln. Lincoln has a lot of know-how, and Michael has a lot of brains, right? But together you get Mahone. Mahone isn't as smart as Michael. It doesn't have the know-how of Lincoln, but he is able to get what he wants, and it's actually kind of nice because both of these together are better than both of these, even at a lower level, together are better than one of each at a high level, right? Teabag comes in and he does his speech. He's like, I don't know what I'm talking about. So he goes with Brad and he says, listen, Cage is here because we're in a cage. We want to free ourselves. Talk about you want to talk about Brad and how Brad died when he was doing what he wanted to do. See, and in the worst thing, I'm gonna spoil it right now, right? Something is gonna be really important that happen later on. This speech will be very good, and the boss of Teabag will give him a promotion. Well, not a promotion, but a opportunity to make some cash, and a lot of cash. Talk about 50K, and it's honest money. He doesn't have to steal. He doesn't have to kill. It's honest money. So, Teabag, you know what? Okay. This is kind of important. This is really important, right? Teabag, at the first, he said, I could use Cold Pfeiffer to avoid prison. An identity. Now, with this, you start to see yourself, you know what? I could make it as Cold Pfeiffer. And this is his biggest regret. And it's quite nice. It's quite nice because it's a case of he kind of wants a real. This is the first instances of Teabag wanting a good life, and even when you look at it, this is not the truth. He had a chance at real life at the beginning of the season, right? But he still wanted to kill Schofield. When you went to prison with the Sona, we're trying to make it the best situation possible, right? It's because of that, and he feels bad, and I think that because Brad died, Teabag said, I don't want to die. I have a chance at a peaceful life here. I have a chance of doing what I want, what I could do, and I want to take it, right? And it's nice. Michael and Sarah goes in. Sarah's like, hey, I have to pretend like I'm your wife. I have to pretend like I'm your wife to get you information. And Michael's like, yo, I'm down for it. So possible marriage, wedding. The doctor says, hey, we need to operate you, but there's police officer. And then what happened is, and this is actually a really cool scene. He said, I know who you are, I'm not gonna snitch. I'm not gonna tell on you. But Michael doesn't trust him. We got Mahone with David Baker. And it's an even better scene because Mahone comes in and there's people from the company that comes in, right? Mahone is talking with David Baker, the company comes in. Once again, the two cases is the wife that answered. Why is that important? Because the reaction of the wife is going to be important, right? So with Mahone, she's allowing him to come in the house, and with the company, she's literally lying and say, hey, I'm not there. We got Sucre. Sucre is in a bad position. Sucre step on a landmine. And this is a very, 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 very good scene. Why? Because this is Gretchen's sense of redemption. We don't trust Gretchen. We don't trust her at all. So this is a case where Gretchen is the only one that can help them. And she's the one that can save them. And you know what Sucre does? Fuck you, I want to work with Michael. So I really like that. But she saved the day. Next on the list, we have the biggest reveal. Biggest plot twist. To be honest, this I didn't see coming. The secretary is actually an agent for SAFE. She's actually an agent. And this reveal is kind of important. Because she's like, yo, I don't know what to do. Gretchen and Teabags are a complete psychopath. I'm in danger. It's like, Safe is like, yo, you're doing a really good job. Don't worry about it. You're doing a really, really good job. Mahone gets away, right? And he has a plan for Scylla, which is gonna be okay. Sucre's like, how can he ask Gretchen? And this is also a cool scene. Sucre, we're always going back and forth. I'm not making it up. This is a show. Gretchen is like, Sucre's like, yo, why should I trust you? It's like, you see how close I am? If it explodes, you lose a leg, I lose my life. So you can trust me, which is kind of cool. Do you see the plan? Oh my god, this is insane. Oh, no way. I try to understand what it means by this sin. Somebody needs to compensate for something, so let's compensate for something. It's not a bad song though. It's actually a pretty good song. Actually, a pretty good song. You go, bro. He's leaving. So now this is the coolest part. I finally realized, because I was like, dude, I don't understand. So the first thing they do, and this is super important, right? So what they do is, it's kind of nuts. It's kind of nuts because Gretchen gives the paper, the patient missing, and we reveal there's landmines. So if they gave the one before, you would have. She gave him a paper with this, which is the symbol. And if you look at the symbol, there's fuel, there's fortification, there's a lot of other things that Scylla could be, right? When you actually learn that Scylla is a recipe for solar energy, creating solar. I don't remember what we call it, like solar batteries, and this could be a very clean way of electricity and a very cheap way to do electricity, right? So actually super good. Sucre gets out and his life is safe. There's no problem with the landmine. Everything is good. Scythe comes in, don't worry about it. Scythe having the secretary was a really good plot. It was a really good plot. I have to say, it was a really good plot. I'm going to repeat myself, it was a really good plot. Why? Because you have constant knowledge of the people in there. But Gretchen and Teabag have no idea that she's working for them. However, she kind of does. You got a school scene where they do a funeral for Bellic, and ultimately speaking, why's that important? Because Don is going to send the remains of Bellic to his mother, but this is the whatchamacallit? This is the funeral that he wanted, he deserves, right? And there is a really cool part because it's this scene, you see that it's a scene that's normal, right? But if you remember from season 1, there's this scene where Bellic has no friends. His whole life is prison. He misses for one day. People are freaking out, like, yo, they're calling his mom. He has no friend. He has no life. The fact that in the end he died and he had a friend is cool. Teabag asked for the file on the secretary because something about her doesn't work. And what he says is, I always work with who I am. Fun fact, she got hired a week before him through a temporary agency. So he goes and he see a number. And guess what? He calls the number as reference. Guess who answers? Scythe. Done. So this, and Teabag recognized the voice. It's like, you piece of shit. She's working for you. She's working for she's working for the government. That's pretty much it. Okay, so now the last scene is the neurologist called, and Michael results came back. And it's a neurologist, and everything is there, and it is exactly what we thought it was, but it's confirmed. It's confirmed that it's what his mom had, and she died from it. So, see, it's not that important of a scene, but it's important also because I told you that both people were right. Lincoln and Michael. Michael saying, "Oh, Lincoln is over worried," and Lincoln saying, "No, Michael is really sick. He can't die." So this was actually pretty cool. Season 4, episode 11, Army of Silence. Again, we got the and this is really cool. This is really cool, but it's not great. So we got Sucre digging to the wall. So they have this wall in between Scylla and Scylla and us, right? And it's really cool because Sucre is digging. The last time I dig, he was talking about the egg beater, and it was that fuck shit with Michael. Now, here's why it's not cool, right? But I'm gonna allow it for a simple reason. It's not cool because the show season 4 feels like it has to use season 1 and season 2 and season 3 as crutches. Made the show great. Like, oh, remember when we did that? You like that, huh? Mmm. Delicioso. Delicioso. It felt like I caught it. How many batteries do we have? 24 each. 83? Okay. I just feel like I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna go get my battery charger and we'll charge it, no problem. So it does show. Like, you use it, the other show has padding, the other season. However, I'm gonna allow it. Why? Because Michael is really sick and people are knowing that he's sick. So instead of just being Sucre who's worried, who misses old time, he's worried about Michael. And this is one of the good memories they have together. You know? And we remember the demon scene because it was amazing. We have the work together and it's amazing. We see that Teabag is doing a sex scene with Gretchen. Why? Because she wants to get the general and the place. We know the general has a 6 card. So it's super cool. Now, what they're doing is they use the camera. The whole team is down there. And it's so freaking nice. They're using vibration to break some of the wall. So this is unbelievable. This is smart. You know, I don't like them passing as secret agent. I don't like that. Phone overheated. I don't like that. But listen, if they're doing something that's smart, if they're doing something that's specific and special, then I kind of like it. I have to be honest. I kind of like it. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but I don't mind it so much. You know. So next. You see how we got a good pace. I felt like I was speeding up, but the good pace. Like, for example, I always remember my first episode of Lost, which is the recent era or arc of recap, and it was 45 minutes. So we have Lincoln and Sarah, and this is a very cool scene because these are two people that care about Michael, so they rely on Michael. Do I think that Sarah and Lincoln are not close? I think the relationship between Lincoln and Sarah is very weird. Very, very weird. Because they act like the only thing that they have in common is Michael. They act like, oh yeah, we care about Michael, but together we don't. Which is okay. I get it. It's the truth. Problem. She was taking care of you and Fox River. And she was nice to you. You forgot that? This didn't happen? See, you have to have it one way. Either you're using the past season as a padding, or you're not using them. If you're using them as padding, use the whole G season, right? There'll be a scene here where Michael is in the limbo, and you see scenes from the first season, which is Kellerman, and that's great. But at the same time, it's so boring because season 3 it's like it's never happened, you know. So now Sarah is like, hey, this is your operation. They have a small drill. They're gonna drill in your head. This is what it is, and this is important because it's do you want to do it or not? And this is it's nuts, bro. It's nuts. It's nuts. They're given the choice to do the right choice. Hey, we'll tell you exactly what is the. We'll tell you exactly what is the operation, and you can choose to do it or not. It's your choice, which I really like. Syph is like, yo, this is the final day. However, I'm gonna tell you a secret. And this, my friends, this is brilliant. This is insanely brilliant. Okay? I'm on Netflix, but when this show came out, this was cable TV. Last season was 13 episodes. This is episode number 11. So we know that there was like a season that was smaller. The show could end after episode 11. Could be another small season. We know that's 22 episodes, so it doesn't end here, but they don't know that. And Dawn, like I said, super acting. I learned something today about Dawn, and it's gonna blow your mind. So we have a camera, and we're going in. Michael is talking about how he's fainting. He's fainting a lot now. And what happened is, Sarah's like, yo, you got morphine. But at this point, I'm giving you so much that all it does is increase the tumor. And it's kind of bad. So Gretchen meets the general. She's looking for the card because he thought he's supposed to have it on him, and it's like, I cannot believe. And this is a really important scene, not a super cool scene because you feel it's a it's just it's a tough scene to watch. So she's like, I'm looking for a card, right? Because we know that they all have it on their person. And it's like, I can't believe at 63 years old I can still get my heart broke. You know what's insane? You know what's insane? He's gonna bring the card. His daughter, Lisa, told him, you cannot trust Gretchen. You cannot trust her. So he trusted Lisa and didn't bring the card. And then he's gonna kill her. He's gonna kill Gretchen. Ronald's gonna kill Gretchen, but she tells him, please, Jonathan, which is his real name, do it for us. Do it for your daughter. So we learned that the father of the daughter of Gretchen is the general himself. So kind of crazy, right? We got Teabag, who now know that the secretary is working for the company. So that's kind of crazy. This is kind of crazy because now there's doubt, and she's like, I'm gonna give you money to take off that jacket. So you want to see if there's a gun, right? She knows he's possibly dangerous, possibly trained. So this is a problem. This is the scene. This is heartbreaking. This is really a sad scene. This is amazing. The boss of Teabag comes in and says, yo, let's just retreat. You gave us so much money with that conference that you did. You did so good. I want to give you a gift. What is that gift? There's a cruise, and when you go there, you sell, and you make a commission on your sell. Every time I go there, I do about $50,000. You could do more than that. And he asked Teabag, "Are you interested?" And Teabag has a chance at $50,000. Now, I know what you're saying. Teabag has a chance at millions of dollars. 50,000 is not a lot. It's just honest money, and this is no dangerous money. It's a fucking vacation. You make money on it, you know. So this is super nice. The guys are wondering how it goes. And this is so nice. This is so nice. I actually really enjoy the. I died again, and now I'm not gonna have the time. Oh damn, dude. I'm not gonna have the time. Oh, shit. I had to do this one. I'm not gonna have time to do tier 2 before the tournament. I'm not gonna have time. But why is that the big deal? It's a big deal. It's a really big deal. I wanted Quinn to upgrade my defense for the tournament. Okay. Okay. We're just not paying attention. So Mahone and Michael's relationship is amazing. They're kind of equal. And Mahone says, I know what you're going through. I had a friend. I had to go to chemo. And the hardest part for him wasn't chemo. The hardest part for him was leaving the office. I know exactly what you're going through. And you know that you're not alone. This is kind of cool. Don is like, how do you feel about this being finished? Gretchen was supposed to get the 6th card. She couldn't do it, which is kind of insane, because her not being able to do it is important. Zing is back. He's looking for the card. Once again, Gretchen is the one that saved him, so that's kind of important. Sarah and Michael, they have a touchable moment where she's very worried. See, Michael always put off the operation. So she's like, yo, you really need to do it. It's like, no, I got this. They go in. Sarah gave him enough morphine to do something bad. And she's just like, hey, I could lose my medical license if I still had one. Sucre is praying, so you know that's going to be intense. That's going to be very, very intense. Lisa comes in and she asks him, and this is the sad part about Lisa. When you look at her eyes, when you look at her, she kind of looks like a Gretchen, so it's disgusting. Here's a really fun part. The guys are coming in for the office, right? This is a fun part. This is a really fun part. So Teabag pretends like he's calling a client, and the secretary has a line because she's a cop, right? So what Teabag does is he writes something, and she gives him bad information. And because she gave him bad information, she gave bad information to Don. And when they go, they're ambushed. So it's actually really, really nice. again using the sound waves to open the walls. It's super cool because we got a really cool scene between Michael, Lincoln, and Sucre. They're actually closest. They give each other hugs, like, yo, it's gonna be okay. Best of luck, bro. I really appreciate that. And they've been through a lot together, you know? So they're literally making an electromagnetic field. And this is kind of insane, right? Because they're digging. Once again, you got Sucre digging, and it's really working well. They're getting closer to closer to closer. And what they're able to do, because this is actually a really cool scene. What they're able to do is the land, the floor is filled to the brim with freaking with laser that says if you go in alarm, right? So they use umbrellas with camera attached to them, and the umbrella will tell you how to do it. They literally bridge a build out of nothing. So they go from the high ground where there's no ground, and they build a bridge to get there. Sucre is there, and Sucre goes in, and he literally falls. And this is such an important scene because he falls. So they use nitro to keep the temperature low. There's also heat sensor, so the person coming in has some heat to his body, and this could also has the alarm. So this is kind of important. Sucre gets in. Lincoln is the one that comes and save him, and then Sucre does, which is really cool. He kisses Cross. Dunn and the secretary comes in and say, "Hey, are you sure that you know what to do?" It's like, not really. I haven't done this before. It's like, follow my lead. You'll be fine. But she won't be fine because it's an ambush. Bedamente. Michael is able to get inside. He goes on the bridge and he faints. So this is again problematic, right? The general tells his daughter, "You're the only one I trust." So this is also a important moment, and we see Lisa moving, and everybody's moving. They all have their car there. They're all moving. They're going to move Scylla. So the guys are stealing Scylla, and the general is sending his daughter to move Scylla. Episode 12, self-control. Here's a bad scene. T-Bag and Gretchen goes into the office. They have guns. There's silencer. And right away, T-Bag's like, we shouldn't do this. And it's the first time I see T-Bag not wanting violence, right? So we go in, and Michael does it on purpose to get caught. The general comes in, right? And this is amazing. And the general tells him, like, imagine coming all the way here and not being able to because you're a few keys short. But Michael, he did something that's really smart. He took the keys and he transferred them. So this is really, really, really cool. So why is that so cool? Because General has it, right? But Michael has it. And General says something like, it sucks falling short. And Michael says, it sucks falling short. We got the boss of T-Bag coming in, and he sees Gretchen. It's like, who are you? You're coming in often here. And she's like, oh, we work together. And she lies. And the guy knows that's a lie. You see the bag, you see the guns in the bag. So they're called the police, which means that Gretchen is pissed off and does a hostage situation. Really, really, really good scene here. You got T-Bag that tells everybody, hey, calm down, nobody's gonna get hurt. And actually, he really believes that. He doesn't want to hurt anybody. And now he looks at Gretchen and locks the door. And it's now what? And the beauty of the now what is like, you fucked over my life. Now what? But this is insane. Michael comes in and he has all the keys copied, which is kind of insane. The general comes in. They bring him to the elevator. Like, you're gonna come with us. This is the way we're gonna do it, right? So Michael calls Sarah and says, hey Sarah, are you on position? Like, yeah, I'm in position. So you don't know what it is, but it's actually a really good position. The general comes in and it's like, what is the beautiful thing is, he tried to bribe everybody, which is absolutely phenomenal. He tried to bribe everybody. Now, they're working from the office. They're working on unlocking Scylla, which is kind of important. There's an office situation. And T-Bag's like, I'm not sure we should do it. We should do this. And Gretchen's like, suck it up. This is what we're doing, and this is what we have to do. No choice, no other way. So this is actually super important. It's super important because it works. And then the general, again, trying to bribe everybody. It's not, and he's calm. He's really calm, which is kind of cool. Dunn comes in with his boss, right? And there's a really cool scene. the boss of Dawn is like, I didn't think that you were gonna do it. I was wrong. I'm sorry for that. So this is really meaningful, because for Dawn is gonna betray the group. Oops. So this is also super good. Another plot twist: Dawn betrays the group, and I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming at all. It's kind of phenomenal, to be honest. So what happened is there's a waiter that drops something on Lisa, and she dirty her take. So Lisa goes to the bathroom. And guess what happened? Sarah goes in with a gun. We know that General daughter is Lisa. So to leave the building, they're gonna do a trade. Either they leave the building with Scylla, or he loses his daughter. So of course the general loses the Scylla. There's the her, which is the secretary. She goes in to save the group. And to be honest, she does save the group because Gretchen run away, Teabag run away, but Mr. White died. Mr. White, which is the boss of Teabag. Sarah once again pointing the gun at Lisa. She's like, "Are you sure you want to fuck with me?" Phone is too hot. You see, I'm doing a lot at the same time, but when I'm not tired, it's not a big deal. When I'm tired, it's unbelievable. But when I'm not tired, it's actually pretty manageable. But at 50%, guys, I'm not going to finish this one, and that's it. Besamente que salen, que sale. But we did 10, 11, 12 in 41 minutes. So we're gonna have we're gonna have 10 left. We can do 3 per 40 minutes, per 50 minutes. That's 2 hours and a half. My apologies. We're good. We're good. I'm gonna be finishing this show because right now it's 6 o'clock and I want to be out in an hour and a half to do the video. So they're running away, and this is so good because they have the company armor truck, and there's a really cool scene where Lincoln says, "Look at her face. We did this to you. Remember." As a payback, because the general did some horrible things, right? The guys realize, the guards realize that Lisa's in trouble, but by then it's too late. They only had to pick up Sarah, and they're good. The company armor truck is the biggest armor truck there is. Of course, they're being followed, which is to be expected, but they make it out. Fun fact: there's this agent that comes in, and he's like, "Oh, too late. You're done. You're done here. You don't have a choice." And it's really cool because he gets the bag. So they went to the Ontario airport, and that's where they meet the guy from the agency, the company, and says, "Give me the bag." And Michael pulls up a whole tea bag move, traded bag, which is kind of important. Sucre is the one that has it. And this is really, really cool because it's trusted by the army. The army is possibly the only thing that you can corrupt, right? So that's pretty cool. Sucre has the Scylla, and the whole thing is done. Secretary, she gets Teabag and she brings him under like surveillance, like we're going to jail. And Teabag's like, "I can't believe that you did that. I can't believe that you betrayed me." So everybody gets their hands on Scylla. Dawn says, "This is over. Thank you for your service. You saved so many lives today." And he gives them a new paper. He gives them a security, right? There's a really cool scene where the guys are asking General what's next. General's like, "Guys, I don't know what to do." And that's kind of important because the general so far has never been unequipped to the situation. And now he is. So the guys are feeling good because it's finally over. You got Mahone and Sucre sharing a beer, which is super nice. Talk about how their life is going to be normal and how good it's going to be. Sarah and Michael planning dates already, which is super fucking good. You got Don who's coming in, and he gives a Scylla, and you go to meet her, right? Because he needs Teabag. He doesn't have Gretchen. Gretchen run away. Teabag isn't. Now what he wanted to do, he wanted to kill Gretchen and Teabag, but he couldn't. So then Michael is supposed to be operated because Don says, "Hey, you know what? Now you're exonerated. We can operate you. They won't arrest you, promise." So he's waiting and waiting. The number of Don is cancelled. Don ended up being betrayed her. I didn't see that coming. That was amazing. That was really good. He's looking at the paper, which is supposed to be the paper to get him. No, the papers are blank. So they got fucked over, and Don is the one that betrayed them. Episode 12, ladies and gentlemen, done. I got 10 episodes left. That's nothing. Got 6 hours left. I can't believe it. We made it. tomorrow we're gonna be watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I think, you know what? I'll be honest with you. I'm not gonna go bed before 2 a.m. I'm gonna be starting Brooklyn Nine-Nine. But I'm gonna leave you guys here. I got 10% batteries, which is not a lot. And I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace. Holy shit, we're doing it, guys. I have 6 hours left. I'm gonna finish it.